What's going on, everybody? Before the video gets started, I just want to talk to you for a second. Say thank you for one, for clicking on my video, and for two, I wanted to let you know that I was on other socials as well, or that I'm on other socials as well. TikTok and Instagram primarily, and then of course on YouTube. This is the Spider Co PM2 that I put my handle on. That way you guys can see it a little better. If I hold it like that, okay. I really love making these videos. I love making knife videos. But on my TikTok, not only do I make knife videos, but I also make mental health videos. Hence my mental health EDC guy handle. Um, I want to be that person that if someone needs help, I can provide that help in some way, shape, or form. I may not be the best for advice, but being able to provide a safe place has been very important to me because that's something that I never got. So if you find that interesting at all, please come take a visit on my TikTok. The Instagram, I'm still trying to remember to post on it every day. It's just I don't think about it. I focus primarily on YouTube and TikTok. But go show me some love over there. I promise I'll get better at posting on Instagram. Thank you guys for watching and enjoy the video. What's going on, everybody? So today I thought I would review a couple knives of mine that I got fairly recently. I want to start doing knife reviews for things that I wasn't aware of. That way, if someone's looking for this particular knife, maybe I can give my 2 cents on it, and maybe touch on something that someone else didn't touch on, or whatever it may be. Today I have the 940 and the 9400 Osborne. The only difference is the 9400 is automatic, the 940 is manual. I love both of these knives significantly. Um, they're one of my primary carries that I go to every day. Obviously, I try to carry a different one every day strictly for my TikToks and my YouTube channel. But at the same time, if I had to choose a knife that I could carry every day, that's super slim and I can't even tell it's in my pocket, it would be one of these two. Personally, it'd be this one, but I also love the convenience of an auto. Now, if I were to choose what situations I would carry these in, the biggest thing first is blade steel. The blade steel on the 9400 is S30V, whereas the blade steel on the 940 is M4. So M4 is going to be your rugged steel. It's going to be able to do a lot more for you. Whereas the S30V is more of an everyday carry. So if I'm out in the woods or something like that, or out in the wilderness, I'll take my M4. I'll take the 940 Osborne. But if I'm going over to a friend's house and we're just hanging out, and they might need me to cut a box or cut some tape or something, I'll take the 9400. Realistically, in both situations, both knives will perform just fine. I just honestly prefer the look of the black more. I have noticed the M4 is a little bit harder to sharpen than S30V, but edge retention on the M4 is absolutely insane, so I don't see myself sharpening this much anyways. But yeah, I wanted to sit here and talk and just, like I said, review these knives and kind of just go over what I like about them. So the 940, the biggest thing that I love about this, of course, is the automatic. Despite that, they're pretty much the same thing. The thing that I can't get over is how thin this handle is. I mean, that's maybe an inch wide. Actually, let's not do that. That's a bad idea. It's about an inch wide, and so I don't have huge hands, but I have bigger hands than some. And so I feel like I really have to grip this, and like it's hard to figure out like where it sits in my hand the best. Um, but past that, I mean, I love the the sleekness of the handle. The ergonomics are absolutely amazing. One of my biggest things. Some people love them, some people hate them. I could go either way. A lot of people don't like the safeties. They're not a big deal to me, but I can also understand the argument of it's just another step in case you accidentally engage it. But I can also understand the argument of if you have a kid and you accidentally leave it laying out, or have a dumb friend that wants to take a look at your knife, you can put the safety on, and there's no, it's not gonna fail on you, and it's not gonna randomly open up. I guess I'll show you that too. So I can understand both arguments. Again, I don't care either way. Do I personally use the safety that much? No. I've never had the Osborne open in my pocket. Um, but yeah, so I understand the arguments for safeties both ways. Doesn't bother me any. The biggest thing I really don't like about this, and some people may love this and I might get some hate for it, I don't like this purple. I really don't. I love forest green. That's why I bought it. I scrolling through the photos, I didn't see this light purple spine part. It takes away so much from the black and forest green. It's a cool aesthetic, but I think if they'd made this black or kept it forest green, or just did what they did here and kept it see-through, it would have been a lot better. Granted, I understand they didn't make it see-through for pocket lint. You have two different springs in here that are doing their jobs to deploy the blade. You probably don't want much pocket lint getting in there, so the best way to do that is by closing off the back. So, I mean, it makes sense. It's just they could have chosen a different color, in my opinion. The Osborne, the 940 Osborne, the Blackout Edition, it's great. I actually carried this one today. Like I said, I try not to grab it every day, but it's so hard not to. My biggest thing with this, honestly, I have way less complaints with this. The biggest thing was when I first got it, the crossbar lock stuck. But after just working it a little bit, it obviously loosened up just fine. But so if you get the 940 Osborne and you have the crossbar lock, I believe they all come in the crossbar lock. Just be wary of that you're going to have a little bit of lock stick. But once you play with it for a little bit and stretch those springs out a little bit, you'll be just fine. So I love this knife. I mean, I literally have zero complaints with it. The biggest thing that you want to know about M4 steel is it is not corrosive resistant. This is DLC coated, so the only thing I have to worry about is the edge, but the edge will rust. So make sure to keep some mineral oil or some sort of lubricant or protectant on it. This is what I use. Hang on a second. I just realized what that said. That says lubricant laxative. Could you imagine if a knife pooped themselves? I should probably stop. Anyways. But yeah, I love both these knives. I will carry them until they break, and I don't see them breaking anytime soon. The biggest thing, that's one thing I wanted to mention. Now, I don't know if I did this, or if this is just how they come, but there is very minor blade play. Mainly, actually, it's side to side is fine. It's back and forth. Now, that could just be from the auto, or from the springs and everything. If that is the case, someone please let me know. But just be wary of that. I mean, you are spending $310. And obviously you want it to be, stuck in there. So yeah, just a little bit of back and forth play. Nothing crazy though. I mean, nothing that you're gonna have to worry about or write home about. But I figure I'll show you some popular knives that people know the size of to show you the comparison. I don't have a tape measure, or I'd show you the accurate measurements better. I'll put the measurements down below so you can get a better idea of how long they actually are. So if you want to pull out your own tape measure, you do it that way. But let me go grab these other knives really quick. All right. So I figured the best first knife to compare this with, just out of my collection, is the Microtech MSI. This thing is beefy. It's a big boy. I'm pretty sure it's over 9 inches long. It might be like 8 3/4. So you can see there's a definitive size difference. I mean, if we're just going to blade, you're missing half an inch here and then probably say a 1/4 inch there. So I mean, there's definitely a size difference, and then the handle thickness. I mean, you got probably 1.5 inches of handle on this, whereas you maybe have an inch, maybe even 3/4 of an inch of handle on this. Definitely different styles of blade, but I wanted to show what a full size knife looks like versus just your normal versus the benchmade Osborne. Both have the crossbar lock, except it's considered the ram lock. The biggest thing, from my understanding with the MSI, is it's just a bigger thing to hold on to, so you can do it on one side instead of having to do it on both. Well, maybe I could. Oh, I guess I can. Never mind, I just learned something about myself, and you guys just learned with me. Unless you knew that already, and I'm just dumb. So yeah, the MSI, I mean, comparing, carry sizes, obviously, the benchmade Osborne, a lot slimmer. That blade's poking out a lot on the MSI. But yeah, so that's the MSI. Let's compare the PM2 next. Absolutely, I love the PM2. I love all the knives in my collection. That's why I bought them. But the PM2, it's awesome. So let's compare just pocket carry. Yeah, the PM2 is a little bit bigger, a little bit longer. I'm sure everyone knew that already. A little bit longer when you deploy it too, not by much. The blade lengths are fairly similar. Let's try and get pivot to pivot. Osborne looks like it's a little bit longer, but the handle is a little bit bigger on the PM2. It's going to make it a little bit more comfortable for my hands personally. For some of the smaller hands, you might like the Osborne a little more. So that's the PM2. Let's compare. I grabbed two more. Do the Spyderco Shaman next. Spyderco Shaman's obviously another beefy boy. Osborne, blade length looks pretty similar. Actually, a little bit more of a cutting edge on the Osborne compared to the Shaman. But the Shaman's obviously thicker. Then the Osborne is Spyderco Shaman, super comfortable. The Shaman is definitely your full carry knife. I use the Shaman primarily for going camping and stuff like that. So this is the same reason that I would use the M4 or the 940 Osborne with the M4 steel on it. So you can see, actually, when it comes to folded up, they're about the same length. Let me compare length again to fully extended. So, I mean, the Shaman has a little bit more length, but it's definitely thicker, without a doubt. Okay, let's compare one more knife, and then I'll give my final thoughts on these two, and we'll call it a day. The Demco Shark Cup. Now, those are about the same. Actually, I think the Osborne has a little bit, has a little bit more on it. Maybe a quarter of an inch. Here, let me do it this way instead. Yeah, maybe an eighth of an inch, a quarter of an inch. The Demco. I love this knife too. Again, I love all the knives in my collection. However, when I have it fully extended, the Osborne is longer. The Demco is featuring, I believe, a 2.9 inch blade, or maybe even 2.5. No, I think it's like 2.9. Yeah, it's like 2.7. So obviously the Demco, it's a little bit of a smaller knife, but that's kind of the whole point. Is this one's more of a compact carry, a little bit thicker on the handle. But yeah. So what about, actually, let's show one more thing. So compared to the Shaman, the Osborne is significantly thinner. I mean, it's significant. Part of that could have been the scales that I put on it. Let's find something that's just straight factory. PM2, little bit thinner, not by much though. What about the MSI? This is going to be funny. Yeah, that is significantly smaller. That almost fits inside the gap of the handles, which is kind of funny in my opinion. And then let's compare the Shark Cub. A little bit thicker, a little bit wider than the Demco Shark Cub. So that's your carry profiles. All in all, I love these 9400 and 940 Osbornes. I am not upset with these purchases at all. So my takeaways are: if you get the 940, be wary of the lock stick for a little bit. The handle ergonomics, the handle's a little smaller. And with the 940 auto, like I said, a little bit of blade play back and forth. That could have been because of me if I loosened the pivot a little bit. And then if you're going to get the forest green specifically, just be aware that you do have this purple accent here. All in all, absolutely great knives, though. I do not regret my purchase even a little bit. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to follow me on TikTok. Follow me here on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. Like, subscribe, share my video to all your friends, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.